Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are back in Minecraft again today. We're going to continue to work on finishing up the Westhill build, which has been 4.5 years in the making. We only have a couple things left on the to-do list. After finishing up the farm roads yesterday, we've got to work on the Spruce River and the distillery underneath the keep. And that's going to be last because the distillery is where I'm going to keep all my storage right now. So I've got to figure out where that's going. And that's something we're working on as well, as like the logistics of moving some things around and trying to figure out where things are going to go from here, which I can start to do today. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go get some levels because we need to get some more gold and we need to get some more shulker boxes labeled and things like that. So that's the plan. Bali, Makatu, Dan Grice, good to see y'all. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Yeah. All day long. All day long. So yeah, it should be a pretty straightforward stream, pretty chill. I think the gold run is going to be an easy thing to start the stream off with, so we might as well just dive right in. So I just realized that I'm going to do a lot of landscaping, and a couple of my tools are like half down, and I also am low on carrots and stuff like that. So I thought we would take a look at the gold situation. I feel like I don't have much in here. No. I do not. So, I mean, we've got some, but like I kind of want to stock up a little bit more. The levels and the ability to label things and rename shulker boxes is really what I'm keen on right now. So we will bring that with us. We will bring, I guess we'll bring, this can go over here. I should also look to see if there's other things I need to go get. I'm not sure where I was supposed to put that. Do I have carrots here? I do. Okay. So I don't need to go get more carrots. That's good. I feel like the moss was low. Yes. Moss was low. Bone meal's okay. Relaxing Joel in the background is a privilege? Well, thanks. I'm glad so many people find the stream relaxing. I can get that on my own. I'll have to remember that that's something we need to do. I think we're all good there. Were there any bushes that we were low on? Jungle bushes. Grow some of those. I really need to reorganize some of these. I think we're doing okay, yeah. I don't think there's anything there that needs replenishing. Good there. Those are all full. I think it was just the moss. Yeah. All right, should be good to go. SweetSandi, hello, hello. Hope you're having a good morning so far. Or I guess good day for you. So the thing that we're going to be working on eventually is the Spruce River. And so on our way out of town here, I'll walk by and show you why we need so much moss. I might bring back some extra, actually. I'm anticipating this to take up a lot. I'm not going to turn this entire hill green, but I need to do a lot of landscaping on this area here. So all of this is kind of vanilla Minecraft, which is fine, but it doesn't really look as good as the stuff that we've landscaped on this side. So it feels kind of bland. And you can see where I've sort of like left a couple of ideas, like I think a rock or a cliff would be good here. I could see even some of that happening here, replacing some of this with stone. There are places that I want to replace the dirt with some spruce as well. And so all along here on the other side of the river is essentially what I want to do. I mean, like, all this could use some grass plant life, get rid of the diorite, just stuff like that, sculpt the waterfall into something cool. You can kind of see like an idea I had at the bottom where I could have a couple of rocks here and have that kind of rough things up. So that's the plan, or at least the mission. Sturk MC, hello, welcome in. We could use some rain here. It's super hot. I'm all for summer weather, but when it starts to run the risk of wildfires, I'm just like, nope, more rain, please. I say that we had a pretty decent June in terms of rain. Like, it's certainly been drier in previous years and been a lot more of a threat. So around here it's not been so bad. Yeah, I can tan if I'm careful. I tend to not spend much time outside in the sun on purpose. I just find it too warm. But like, you know, walking to the gym and stuff like that, for short bits, I'll tan before I burn. But if I'm out for any great length of time, then I got to be really careful because I will definitely get a burn. And that's like, it sounds kind of silly, but it's, as someone that's like, you know, I'm bald, so that's an issue. So I always got a hat on, and I've got broad shoulders. Not that being broad makes you more susceptible or less susceptible to getting sunburned, but for me, I find that like if I'm in a car or like I'm often in a situation where like my shoulder is sticking out into the sun, you know. So I've got to, like, I'll get a burn when I least expect it. Like, I'll get a burn on a long car ride in the summertime. Whereas if I'm at the beach, like, I'll be careful and have sunscreen and all that kind of stuff. I guess we'll go to the moss farm first. No, the world is not medieval themed. That just happens to be one section of it. That's the medieval area. So this is a 7-year-old server, 8-year-old server, as a matter of fact. 8-year-old tomorrow? I should know this. Cosmic knows the date. I feel like I should know. Alistair knows the date too. I want to say it's July 17th. I will bring an extra half dozen. Carpet. Need more concrete powder. Green wool is something else we need too. Oh, wait a minute. I've got ender chest here somewhere. Yes. Concrete powder. We will have to make more. That's fine. We've got lots to make more with. Sturk, I get lots of ideas from Pinterest as well. I've got a Pinterest board actually. There's a, if you go to, I think it's, oh, I don't remember my Pinterest address. It's Joel Duggan Art, maybe? Yeah, Joel Duggan Art on Pinterest, and you can see the different boards that I've put away for inspiration for Minecraft. And thanks very much. I'm glad that you like the builds. I am getting way more frames in here. No, I don't think it's belated. I don't know. I need to look that up. I feel like at some point I looked it up on Discord. I don't know why Discord does this. It seems to like black out during streams now. Citadel. Oh, there is a date. There's a command. That's what I thought. Perfect. So it was the 14th. Cool. I should have mentioned that. Geez, I was live on the show. I was live on the show on Monday. I should have mentioned that. Well, yeah, we had a light news week on the podcast this week for the Spawn Chunks, so it would have been good to have something extra to talk about. So, yeah, 8 years. I'm not even sure if this farm works the same way anymore. I know I've got a... don't have the right kind of sword for it. No, I think these are all empty. Yep. Oh, you're already angry at me. That's fine. They were too fast. I gotta be careful not to hit the ones behind me. Or behind. This is what I want. Looting. What is this? Looting 1. It's nothing. Should have looked at the books before I came here. Well, I wonder if I've got a looting enchantment in the swamp. You know, I might. Those guys feel dangerously close to hopping through the hole. I know they can't, but it feels treacherous. I should go check to see if I've got a looting enchantment. Because then I could apply it while I'm here. Options. Nope. Want sound. Oh, you've got a medieval themed world now too? Cool. So we just get different zones. It's easier that way. And the early zones are basically just people's like home base setup. I've got this swamp farm. And way back in the day, there was a fishing farm before they got rid of them. And I've got a bunch of enchanted books. Question is, do I remember how to get down there? I want to say yes. I haven't been to this area in a long time. This is essentially just a bunch of different farms all together. We've got a witch farm, storage area. There's a skeleton farm over there. And there's a slime farm underneath this here. And I think my redstone is, yeah, doing okay. Down, 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 down over here. Yes. That's the sorting system. I feel like this next level is it? Yes. Can we go up, I want to say? Yeah, this whole place is just a early Minecraft days of messy. There's a zombie farm here. I used to have villagers there to trade with, but they died. I don't know what that was to. That goes to the slime farm. I feel like this is where all the books are. I've increased the volume of the game a little bit on stream too. Let me know if it sounds okay. Fire protection, luck at the sea. There's a looting 3. I don't think I want knockback. That's probably why. I didn't use it. There's a zombie spawner somewhere nearby. These guys are dropping in through here. Fire aspect, Bane. Those are all cursed books, lore. Sweeping Edge 3. I'll take that though. There was another looting one that might have been. I'm okay with Bane of Anthropods. I'll at least get looting 2. I don't think I want knockback on the sword for the farm. What's my other sword situation here? That's got nothing. Oh, there's, yeah, the zombie noises are from the farm. If you guys can hear that, that's good, because normally you can't. I don't know. I don't remember. There's a whole system back there that I don't remember how it works. Most of this stuff appears to be just bows. I thought I had more books. I should have checked my enchanted books before I left Westhill. I know I'm low on name tags, so... There's obviously a lot of stuff in the hoppers. Alright, I'm not missing anything. So the idea was that I used to get some levels from here and then enchant stuff, but we've got Sweeping Edge and Looting 2. So I don't want knockback on that other sword. And I don't think the closest enchantment setup is going to be... I'm not sure where. So this is a huge area that I cleared out for the witch farm, but it means it's also the fastest way to get back up. Don't think I keep any books up here. Nope. Old chests. Lots of mushrooms, though. Take the scenic route. This is the Wither Skeleton Farm, and it connects to the gold farm. It's all slabbed so that nothing spawns in the fortress. That pops us out here. See, I just noticed that when I was watching other creators that I follow, like Impulse, and the sound balance of him speaking versus the gameplay in the background, mine felt very quiet compared to his, so I thought I'd try to increase the volume. I don't know why it's so quiet, because I previously I wasn't ducking the Minecraft audio at all. Like, not by much anyway. Now I've actually got the Minecraft audio, like, increased by 1.5 decibels. Which is odd. Alright, I have the swords here. And I believe there's an anvil up here. Like a one to use, not just... I think it's in here. Yes. We don't need to listen to that, though. Sharpness looting. Looting 2. Sharpness 3, looting 2, mending. That 6 levels and 7 levels for sweeping edge. I think we'll go cheapest first. That's a lot of little guys. I don't even think I hit them. Unfortunately, they've changed this farm so that you actually have to punch these guys. Try to do a bunch of things at once. Coda, thanks very much. Yeah, this is, we decided not to go on the roof of the Nether in this world. We are sticking to some rules in terms of stuff like that. We also don't have TNT duping and just some kind of things to kind of keep it as vanilla experience as possible. And as a result, you have to build, oh, you can't see it on the map. You have to build the farm in a lava lake. So you have to find a big enough lava lake to create the donut farm and then build up from there. And before they nerfed it, you could just sit here. Like I could go on break, get a cup of coffee, come back, and I would have like 15 levels and a bunch of gold. So yeah, right now we're just kind of slowly building up, and then now I should be able to get 9 levels. Sharpness 3, sweeping edge 3, looting 2. So it's not amazing, but it's still pretty good. That's the only problem right now. So there's a couple things about this farm that need to change. I'd like to drop them instead of killing them in a minecart thing, because there's entity cramming. There's like 20 minecarts right there. Yeah, right there. So a better way to do it would be to drop them, almost kill them, and then everything that you hit would work, but we'd have to change the whole collection system. Are the entity crammers still necessary? It kills them faster. I'd be sitting here punching them forever if they weren't there. So they're not necessary? Going under the lava must have been so hard. Yeah, it was a real pain. There are videos of me doing it. I feel like, I don't know whether I did that on stream or whether that's something that I put videos together, but I've got 2 YouTube channels. Joel Duggan VODs is the one that has all of the archives from Westhill. But I want to say that there's some videos of me putting this together on Joel Duggan on YouTube. So sometimes they get stuck. So all I have to do is I just have to hit them. And as long as I hit them, then I get credit for the kill. Then sometimes when they die, their gold gets left up here. I'm gonna die if I'm not careful. Where's my carrots? I'm not sure why I took fire damage there. said, it's not the best farm in terms of its design, because you're meant to sit here and not really do anything. So at that point, it was great because you could open up all these trapdoors and you'd have zombies coming in from all sides, and it was actually pretty fast. I think it was faster than our Ender, and it gave you the advantage of having gold. Thanks for the links in chat, Sandy. Appreciate it. And at least the sweeping edge takes the guess out of it. Like, I don't have to aim at them. I can just kind of swing and hit them. Oh, I should be repairing gear. It's fun sometimes to do this on stream because it gives me a chance to really chat. Because sometimes I find I can miss messages and stuff if I'm in the middle of a build or if I'm doing something specific. There's a lot of clicking and waiting. I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do after I finish Westhill, and I know I've talked a lot about a sci-fi zone, and that is coming, but I don't know if I want to jump right into it. You know, like I want some time to think about it, and I feel like I might scope out the area, let some things percolate, but then I also want to just, you know, maybe go to the modern city and finish a skyscraper, or do like some server-based things, like make a shulker box farm. But like, maybe I want the shulker box farm to actually be in the sci-fi zone, so like I have to think about that too. I gotta think about the logistics of getting a shulker to the sci-fi zone. So I think you need like at least one live shulker for a shulker box farm. Don't you still have the Endermite Shulkers data pack? I do, yes. Yeah, we do have that. But it's slow. I want to set it up and then not have to worry about shulker boxes ever again. I don't mind putting in the work, but I definitely want to have something. This is the thing. I also don't need it to be like massive. I don't need it to be like the same scale that Impulse did or Il Mango did. Like, I just need it to be a shulker box farm that creates just enough for me where it's no longer a hassle. That's the hard part, Coda. Yeah, getting the shulker box getting the shulker to where you want it, I'd imagine. All right, we're almost done. We've got 22 levels, plus we've got everything repaired. Yeah, these guys are dying a lot faster because of the entity cramming. Zenthane X, 24 months, 2 years with that Prime sub. Thank you so much, Zenthane. Really appreciate that. 2 years, that's incredible. I gotta get some 2-year and 3-year badges up. So the aggro continues. Like, the aggro loop is still accurate. It's just that they don't die unless you hit them, or they don't give you XP unless you actually physically interact with them. So if you had like a mouse macro that just kept your sword swinging here, you'd be fine. The shulker farm on Infinity Cove was over the top. You got way more shells than you could ever need. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't need something that big, right? Speaking of Infinity Cove, it looks like the consensus from the people that have taken the effort to chime in is that that server is going to be resetting. So we'll have, probably for August 1st, a new patron server. And I'm thinking about switching hosts as well, just to kind of keep it simple. And I also think I'm going to change the name. I think that Infinity Cove was a cool thing, and then time to move on, but I think that one of the best ways to move on is also to call it something else. All right, I don't need this out here. I think I'm good. 24 levels, that should be all I need. Put this back. It was more about repairing the gear and getting gold. And I can also just toss that in there. That's good news, as is that. Normally I would break this all down and pack it up, but I think we're just going to leave it like that because I'm going to turn it into carrots when I get back to Westhill. I can turn the volume back up. Yeah, doing this was a real pain because this is all glass walls. There's lava in the ceiling for the drips. Like it was a real challenge. Shulker farms are such a chore. Well, that's good to know. Right now, the easiest way to get shulkers on the server, it's just tedious, is to use the Shulker Mite data pack. The idea behind it is that you throw ender pearls around in an area that's covered with purpur, and when an endermite appears after you throw X amount of pearls, the endermite will burrow into a purpur block and turn into a shulker, which you can then kill. And we've got a data pack that also means that all of the shulkers drop 2 shells. So for every 1 shulker you get 1 shulker box. And it's fine. It's low risk, but it's also really slow. So I find it's a bit of a time sink. Yeah, so that is a Voodoo Beard data pack. There should be a link if you do Bang Joel's mods in chat, you should get a link to a Google spreadsheet. I don't know if I've updated that to the current spreadsheet, but we've had it for years, so you should be able to find it. I mean, a Google search for Voodoo Beard data packs, you should be able to find their website too. And then double shulker shells is just vanilla tweaks. Most of the data packs that we have on the server are just vanilla tweaks, and I try to keep them to be things that only affect like UI or just little quality of life things. Like packing and unpacking string and wool and netherwort blocks. Like things like just make things a little bit easier to move stuff around. Yeah, that's the other thing, Mikatu, the endermite thing. You end up bouncing your face off of walls for like an hour, and so you have to have a lot of food with you as well. It's yeah, it's not an enjoyable experience. Like it's probably less tedious than going out and getting shulker boxes, but at the same time, like right now we don't have any end portals because our end portals were corrupted, so we had to replace them, and so those have been reset. But as a result, we now have to beat the dragon to open one and go get ender pearls. So like, or not ender pearls, go get shulker boxes. So in that way right now, going to the end islands to get shulker boxes is a real pain in the butt compared to just using the endermite data pack. Just out of curiosity, what's the date on that spreadsheet, Sandy? Do we know? I could fly to the end islands, yeah, if I really wanted to take a long time. Burninator, yeah, I do. Pixelriffs did that and said it was pretty slow. It's a pretty fun experience walking through here now that it's all done. This feels very low and empty, but I guess that's kind of what you would have happen next to a town with a wall on it. You wouldn't want buildings immediately next to this. I can see how that could have been a cool thing to do, though. So the spreadsheet is from 2023. Okay. I've got a new one. I'm pretty sure the data pack is on the new one as well. I should change the link on that command to the new sheet. Hold on. I'll do that while I think about it. Is it in the list? Yes. Cool. And is that command, does that have like a short? That probably has like a tinyurl Joel's mods. tinyurl.com. Cool. So that command has now been updated. So now it's got 2025 data packs and mods in there, which is good because like some of those other ones are quite old and would be confusing if anybody was trying to look them up. Thinking about a data pack that makes shulker shells craftable, example using ender pearls and purpur, which would finally give the overflowing pearls from the ender a purpose, but that might just be too OP. I can kind of, like, I can see it. I mean, shulker boxes are currently craftable now. It's just that you have to kill a shulker to get the box parts, right? All right, let's make some golden carrots. Did not get very far with that. So I don't think it's quite as efficient as it used to be. Not quite. All right, moss is good. I need to grow a jungle tree or two, and I need... Oh, I didn't leave the sword there. That was dumb. I guess I'll just leave it in my ender chest. Name tags. need a place to put extra moss. Shears for grass. And then we need some jungle saplings. And I'm mostly going for the leaves, but some scaffolding and I guess just some dirt. All right, first things first. Sleep. Recipe for the shells themselves. Yeah. I could see it if it was something that was maybe related to turtle scoots. Like if you were to do it as a data pack, it would be nice to bring in some older gameplay. Or armadillo maybe, because they're closer in color. How do you even get armadillo scoots? Do they just drop off of the thing? You have to shear them, right? I guess the challenge there is you got to find an armadillo to start with. I'm just going to fly over to some unsuspecting meadow and cut a lot of grass down. Where should I go? Let's go down here, I guess. That looks like it's... Oh, here we go. This'll do. Relatively flat. Stuff like this reminds me of like that early Minecraft day when you're just collecting all the things. It's crazy how much the tall grass camouflages the cows. I almost didn't see that one. I'm not sure how I'm leaving it all on the ground. Oh, well, that's the end of that gathering trip. I think that's probably good enough for now. Not often I get to approach Westhill from this end of things. This area is all 115 world generations, so it's really wonky when you get out beyond the stuff that I've landscaped. Yeah, using the turtle shell for shulker box crafting actually gives the turtle shells a use. How does scoots drop? Remind me. Does the turtle just like drop them eventually? Or does it drop it when it grows up? I think that was the issue that I had with it. Like if you wanted a lot of them, you ended up with these turtles everywhere. Yeah, it drops it when it grows up. So then, unless you want turtles everywhere, you're going to have to kill the turtles, which again is not the best. Turtle shell helmet is a must for you, Coda. I use a gold helmet because it keeps the piglins away when I'm in the nether. I don't think... I don't remember. Did jungle trees... Jungle trees don't create any change in the ground, do they? In the same way that spruce trees change dirt to podzol? I don't remember. I should get more shears before I do anything. Would be neat that you could change it so that you can brush them like you do for armadillos. Right, you have to brush them. I forgot the brush even existed in the game. I thought you had to shear an armadillo. I've been so focused on Westhill, there's all kinds of game features that I've just never bothered with because they just don't... They don't have any value for me. Not that I'm not saying they don't have value for other people. I'm just saying that for me, in my projects, they just have not proven to be useful. I also find that because I do the show, the Spawn Chunks, that we have to parse and regurgitate so much information weekly, especially when the news cycle is really quick. It's just like, if it's not really important and something I'm going to use, I can't retain it because then I don't have any space in my brain for the next thing that we got to talk about. I think this will work the same way. I forgot bone meal. Crap. Bone meal. I also just realized the time, so I think I'm gonna take a break before I start mining jungle trees. So give me about 5 or 6 minutes, folks. If you're new to the channel, I do this once an hour. I just step away, reheat my coffee. You can grab a snack, grab a friend. We're trying to grow the channel as always. So if you want to bring in some new people, we would very much appreciate it. And I'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes. All right, get out here. The tree did not grow in the 6 minutes that we were away. That's fine. Lots of angry mobs, though. Saw another one over here somewhere. No creepers, I don't see anybody. Okay. This works for spruce trees. I don't know if it works for jungle trees or not. Yep. We may only need the one tree. I guess there's a lot less foliage on these than other trees too. I wish the vines would drop along with the logs. But I don't think we're okay for vines. It's mostly about the leaves. Guess we can get some here. Cool. I do like the advantage of these double thick trees, because just for the effort of cutting down one, you get so much material. This is what I was talking about with pixel rips on Monday. It's like, I think one of the coolest power-ups that vanilla Minecraft could give us would be the ability to collect things from a wider radius. So we only just about 4 stacks. Stack and a bit of wood. I'll do one more just because we're here. Might as well. One of the things I use jungle wood for a lot is like a darker version of azalea. So if you're making a big tree or a bush or doing some landscaping with some shrubbery, I find that putting jungle underneath azalea kind of helps make the azalea look like the sun is hitting it or something. Kind of fun that way. Going through shears like crazy. At least I don't have to store them anymore. I guess I could have used a hoe, couldn't I? Took me a second to realize I was actually on a vine right there. Lord Andy, I play on Bedrock with add-ons, basically mods for Bedrock, and the mod pack has 3 capacitor enchant, which cuts down the whole tree. Oh, interesting. I can see that being super useful, especially on something like Bedrock. If you're on a console, I would want a lot of quality of life improvements if I had to play Minecraft with a controller. I don't think this is taking longer than 5 minutes. I'm worried about some of the stuff that might be despawning on the ground. I kind of wish the vines would all drop when you kill the leaf. That would be nice. I'm not even really sure how low we are on leaves or on vines. We might not need this many. Cool. So now we should be able to restock the jungle as well as the jungle leaves. Should have room for both. So jungle leaves restocked. Don't need that many oak leaves. Guess I could just move those along. And then jungle wood. I guess I can put a couple stacks of leaves there, and now I'm kind of stuck. Wow, that actually worked out perfect. Not planning that at all. Yeah, 2 stacks of vines is plenty. I don't want to get rid of the jungle leaves though. I feel like I should keep those somewhere. I guess we'll put them in here for now. And I'll just turf the extra. Akram, thanks very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Yep. Cool. So now I've got some shulker boxes that I can relabel. So we've got 3, 4. I feel like we've got sandbox 1, sand 2, 3, 4. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus I'm going to need a little bit of sand. So we've got and then this is just 8. And 9. And then I've got yellow dye somewhere, or I can just grab it from here. one of these. That one. So when we eventually move out of here, we now have sand all organized. I will worry about renaming those when I actually need to. We also need green concrete. So speaking of sand, actually what I should probably do is take it from here. And we can replenish this one. And I think I had it in the moss box as well. I know I wanted 2 because we go through it a lot. I don't use lime terracotta all that much. I don't know if I've ever used that. I should probably just do this. That's going to be better. And then I've got this stuff that I need to just kind of put somewhere temporarily. Nice. I think that was it. I don't think there's anything else I needed to make. Yeah, I don't know the differences between Java and Bedrock. I have not spent enough time in Bedrock to really pick up on them. All right, let's go take a look and see what I need to bring out with me. I know the basics, but I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So obviously grass and ferns. I don't think moss is going to be all that useful. I'll bring it with me anyway, but this is all going to be either taiga or river biome. And the green of the moss is just not going to work. So really we're going to be relying on a lot of bone meal and too tall plants like ferns. I might be able to get away with some sugarcane. So I'll bring some string with me too. I don't think I like the looks of the berry bushes. At least not down by the bank. We might be able to put them up on here. Definitely want to bring the spruce box and some spruce leaves. And I should empty my grass and dirt box too. Anybody else have any fun ideas for doing some landscaping along the riverbank? Looking around this basement gives me an idea for a basement that I'm building that you're working in. Cool. Yeah, I can show you kind of like an idea that I had for the build in the basement too. I'm not looking to add a lot of time, so custom trees are probably not going to be a frequent thing. There might be 1 or 2 that I want to add, but for the most part, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. What I might do is like add roots on some of these bigger ones just for fun. Stuff like this, I might do a custom tree. Like if an existing tree is there on the bank, it might be more fun to kind of have that. There's an example actually over here where I don't know if I made a custom tree or if I made a mental note. Yeah, like I might make that a custom tree. I thought I had a custom tree planned out down here somewhere. Yeah, so there's a custom tree by the waterfall. But even then, like it kind of blocks the waterfall, so I might not keep that. Or I might just move it up a little bit so that it frames the waterfall better. But essentially, like, this kind of thing is what I need to do all along here. But while I'm thinking about it, and while I have a clean inventory, let me show you what I wanted to do in the distillery. And one of the reasons why I've got these kind of bays hooked up along the walls. So what I was thinking is stripped acacia, copper, trapdoors, more grates, blocks of copper, and I don't know, I don't have much copper, so we might have to get creative. Where did I put all those honeycombs? In here? Yes. And I need a honey block and a light source. Probably just a torch. So the idea is something like this. You can see the torch, unfortunately, so we need to move the torch. The idea is that we would make these big copper looking stills. I think maybe in my other example, I actually had this as like a band that went around them. I feel like that's probably what it looked like. And then if I can grab a lever, I guess I would need this. So you can imagine like 6 or 8 of these around would be really cool looking. Unfortunately, if I do that, the little redstone particles are going to be there. So I might go with a tripwire hook instead. And so the honey makes it look like it's like a thing that's full of stuff. Whoops. I forgot how much I like the sound of copper. Well, it looks pretty cool. And then we can get into some of the other details with maybe some signs, or even like an acacia trapdoor might look better. right? It makes it look a little bit more sturdy. And then we could put this on multiple sides. So like if we wanted to have it be visible from both sides, then we would just grab more honey. I think I like the acacia trapdoor better. Or we could even go with like some buttons. That might be too much, I don't know. I like to look at the signs on the feet. It kind of makes them look like it's sturdier. And then if we really wanted to, we could try to have some sort of, I don't know, pipe or something go from one to the next. I did this with the iron farm. And we could either do this or we could let them age a little bit, kind of like have one of the more oxidized things in there. I don't know if this would really, really work, but for a little bit of a difference from one to the next. Right? I think we'd have to have it all over. Just the one block is kind of distracting, but as it stands, I think it's okay. And we could maybe make different shapes. Like, I'm not sure if I could make this a little bit bigger and have it be more round. Maybe we could have one that's on the ground that is a little bit more dumpy shaped, you know? Could have a wider, lower one. I don't know. But the thing is, I don't know if I want them to be so tucked away, because I mean, all of a sudden that means like you're very far away from them when you first come down, because the entrance will be here. So when you come into here, I might want that to be closer. I might want, maybe I want this room to not be as wide. Like maybe I kind of bring it in. Right now it's in line with the edge of the walls, but like it doesn't have to be, right? We could just make this basement be whatever shape we want. So that's the idea for the distillery anyway. Or one of them. You see a face? Trapdoor's the mouth. Oh yeah, I can sort of see that. Looks like it gassed a little bit. All right, so now we need grass and dirt. These are going to have to get emptied. I'll bring the moss, I'll bring the grass. I'm going to bring push box, which I believe has been replenished. Yeah. I guess I'll bring that. Bone meal. Bruce. Dirt. Coarse dirt. That actually might be a cool idea to mess with some of the trees. Never know when you're going to need that stuff. I don't think we'll need any dripstone or clay. What did I have for books here? Oh, I have a mending book. That's good to know. Silk Touch. A couple of mending books, actually. Fortune. So no looting. It doesn't. Oh, there's a looting 3. That's good to know. I should keep that. What was that sword? Was looting 2, I want to say? Yeah. What would this cost me? Probably too much. 13. I won't do it right now. Have it in there as a reminder. Okay. Anything? Green concrete, green terracotta. Oh, those are, that's concrete. What are you doing in that box? I guess I had nowhere else to put it. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. They're also really simple, really easy to build. I think I would want it a little bit farther from the wall. So where's going to be a good place to set up shop? I guess I'd want to be, I don't know, on this side of the river. I heard a zombie somewhere too. I'm not sure where. Sometimes they spawn out here. The daytime probably got him. There's not a lot of overhangs in these places. A few, but not many. So the reason I'm heading this way is because I wanted to show you the plan. So all of this south bank was just kind of vanilla generation. So all of this has been tweaked by me. Mangrove looks pretty good too. I also like the idea of throwing in extra coarse dirt. That's very effective. Those are probably just oak leaves. Yeah, the mangrove is a good shout. Pretty dark. Maybe we'll go with mangrove. Lots of bushes. Yeah, like that doesn't look too bad. I don't think I use any path block. I think it's just soul sand, soul soil, and coarse dirt. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's a good idea too. I should bring some dark oak. Glad I came over here. You always forget something. You always get out to the build site. You're like, God, I should have brought that other shulker box full of stuff. It's gonna be so weird to move out of here. Is it a dirt slab? Yeah, it's a coarse dirt slab. So it's a petrified oak slab. And it's in the game, but it's in creative. It's an old legacy item, and they've never gotten rid of it. And it looks just like an oak slab. Like if I turn my textures off, then it just looks like an oak slab. But with the texture pack that I have on, it just retextures the oak slab or the petrified oak slab to be coarse dirt. I used to have it so it had pebbles in it, and I really wish I could figure out how to get that working again. That changed when they changed the way that data works in the game or something. I might have enough room on the bottom of this slope to set up, but that means I'm going to be bouncing back and forth across the river. It's going to be a pain. I do not have as much room as I thought. Okay. Where is going to be a good spot then? Honestly, I guess the crossroads at the farm is going to be where we need to go. It's weird, like I feel like I was just here. Yeah, there's not really any wide open areas. I guess that's the problem when you've finished texturing all kinds of really, you know, wide open spots, is that I've lost a lot of my areas where I can like set down a bunch of shulker boxes. Yeah, I guess that's it. Which is fine, because there's lots of beds and stuff nearby. Oh, leaf litter. I gotta be careful of that too. Crap. Maybe we'll just set up in the road. Probably the easiest. And I forgot my utility box. Awesome. If my head was not screwed on today, I would leave it behind. How do I build things out? I don't know what you mean. How do I plan my builds? Just usually rough them out. Like all that stuff has been part of the videos for a while. I just rough out like a base outline and pick some blocks and measure some heights. Ooh. That's a thunderstorm. I also have to go empty out the grass and the dirt blocks. Something else I forgot to do. Yeah, the petrified oak slab, I'm not sure what the history is of it. You can probably look it up on the wiki. The idea, I think, is that it was just meant to be an oak slab that was harder to mine, but because it looked identical to the original oak slab, I don't know why, like, it would be very confusing as a player to all of a sudden have this thing that you had to mine through that took twice as long. And a pickaxe is the right tool for it, not an axe. It was probably entered into the game with the idea that it might get retextured at some point, but almost full up on the dirt. But yeah, I think a project planner is a cool coding idea. I mean, I would go for it if you think it'd be helpful. I would say the thing to do would be to make it helpful for you. Because if it's helpful for you as a Minecraft player, there's a really good chance out of the millions of people that play Minecraft that someone else would also find it useful. I feel like that's what I notice about some of the most successful apps that I interact with or programs that I use is that they usually solve a very simple problem that that person that designed the app noticed and they decided to fix, you know? Just realizing how much of a pain in the butt it is now that I can't set up quite near where I want it to be. Oh, I had wildflowers in here. Those. Mangrove was the bush that I noticed that we were using a lot of. Don't think we're going to need much moss. Definitely going to need some coarse dirt. Oh, I have not a lot of soul soil. I wish I had known that when I was going through the nether. I completely forgot to check that. I might have some in here. Oh, good. Okay, cool. I think that's good. Definitely gonna need some spruce logs, or spruce wood rather. Might need a couple of those. And this could be interesting. I was thinking about replacing some of the spruce trees with different trunks. I don't know what that's gonna do to the leaves though. Burninator, thanks so much for being here. Have a good afternoon. BrightSync, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome in. How'd you find the stream? So I realized that I've set up pretty far away from where I'm working, but it was just the easiest way to lay everything out. One of the first things I normally do with tackling stuff like this is smooth out some of the weird Minecrafty layouts or landscapes. Try to cut a couple of these. So as that eventually grows over, it becomes a little bit easier. Cover up. And so rather than a big flat wall, it becomes a little bit easier. Sometimes you have to do it, like sometimes you're stuck with the way that things grow. Other times you get these really weird half blocks. So I usually start with the broad strokes of like noticing things I want to change that kind of stand out. That's one thing we're changing. I like this gravel. I think I did a little bit of tweaking with the gravel. Where did you come from? And you dropped a carrot. Excellent. Snacks. All right, we can do the same thing along here. Feel like that tree's okay, although now I've got this thing where I want to cover this up. What I should do is bring the bed over here, because this is going to spawn a lot of mobs going back and forth. Or do I have two beds? No. Somewhere I do. I think what players need to do more in Minecraft in terms of planning is plan in survival in the game rather than being in creative. I think there's a lot of players out there, from what I can gather just from people that write in to the spawn chunks, that just get caught up in the planning stage, and then they're planning forever and they never actually take the first step. It's much better to get going on a project. I could have sworn I had more than one bed. Is it in here? No, I mean I can make a bed. I've probably slowly put them in builds. If it was anywhere, it would probably be in these 3 chests. What's that? Blast protection. All right. Do I have? I do. White beds are boring. Boss Jordan, hello, hello. You're not 2 hours late. You can just only join now, which means that you're on time. These trees are covering up a lot of this. That'll get covered over. Push that back. I'm trying not to be too precious about this. Because really it's not like a front and center kind of build. It's meant to be kind of like smooth background stuff that you're not thinking about too much. But then stuff like this looks weird. I'm not even sure if I remember the process that I did for the other one. I'm sure it involved a lot of bone meal. Whoops. I don't know whether that was put there by me as an example. Probably. Yeah, this whole spot just looks weird. In the process of trying not to make too much work for myself, I am probably creating too much work for myself. Obviously a lot of gravel around. This is just a great big cliff. At this point, you kind of have to be careful that you're not like re-landscaping the whole countryside. Would like this to go down a little bit though. That's not bad. Once this goes all green with grass, it becomes a lot easier to kind of see the vision. Right? So like, not much, but when you back up, It'd be hard in the shade, but so a little bit of sculpting versus none. And I mean, this is not so bad, but I feel like that little bit of removal that we did is like already starting to make it feel a lot more natural. Stream time is at 2 hours. Thank you, Sandy. Good call. We shall take a respite. I'll just park it in the bee farmhouse. Thing is, it's a really cool view. Right on. I take a break once an hour, folks. If you are new, I'm going to step away and grab another glass of water. I'll be right back. Well, apparently that bee farm is not spawn-proof. Or I forgot to close the door, maybe? Because I came back from my break and I was dead. And those are a lot of creepers. No, I closed the door. Maybe the back door wasn't shut. Oh, baby zombie. That's what it is. Crap. That's what it is. All right. Let's do this real quick. Hopefully, my stuff did not despawn. Where did he come from? He must have spawned inside the house. That's annoying. Wonder where the spawning space is. I hate these mobs. So frustrating. All right. I guess I could put that on instead. Boots. Where is the spawning space in here? Nothing up top. I guess maybe he jumped in through the window? That's the only thing I can think of, is that he was able to come up on that space there. Alright, well, mental note, this is not a spot that we can AFK in. I need pants. Don't care about that. Pickaxe. Helmet. I think I just need to make a quick run to the storage. Tripwire hook was probably up on the wall somewhere. I must have punched it off. All right, Electra, golden helmet. Don't think there's anything else. Gravel. Don't care about the stone. Our stuff didn't despawn, so that's good. And I have more than enough grass. All right, well, mental note. I can't AFK here. I'm guessing that's what happened. That's definitely enough space for a baby zombie to jump in. Which is why it probably didn't happen before. Yeah. Wake up in the morning, you're dead. What a start to a day. Yeah, no kidding, right? That's why I keep everything nearby in a ender chest. Oh, crap. You can tell I don't do a lot of PvE because I just don't have stuff around. All my gear is old diamond gear. Yeah, I find just in general, first-person melee games, not my thing. I don't like the interaction. I don't like the timing. Doesn't matter whether it's Minecraft or a brand new modern game. If I'm playing a sword and sorcery game that's first-person, I go magic and I go bow and arrow because like I just can't seem to get it right. All right, I need to take a quick peek at what I did again at the South Shore. I feel like I'm remembering less on the shoreline, but I could be wrong. No, it's pretty packed. Pretty packed. I like the idea of making this a little bit different. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the only thing I did was just throw in some of the bushes, but then I feel like maybe mangrove probably won't look good buried. Maybe. And then I can run over this with bone meal and probably make it look pretty good. And then just cut down some of the higher stuff. So immediately to take down the too tall grass. Place that. Don't need these. Find the red flowers very distracting in the taiga. Yeah, it's starting to look better already. But then in places like this, I definitely want to have like something on every tier. And then maybe spice up a couple of them. Ferns. The real pain is just getting around. So much for the 19 levels that I had. Oh well. So for places like this that you can see, wouldn't be a bad idea to have a couple of different pieces. Prep it around. Have to make more of those soon too. I'm not sure whether it's faster to just use the grass or whether it's better to do bone meal. Probably bone meal. The problem, of course, is that you get flowers. Yeah, it's starting to feel better. Places like this, I would probably opt for doing a bush. Oh, I should bring some vines over. That will be helpful too. I know I've said this before, but because I end up with so much dye, because of all the bone meals and the flowering and stuff, I really wish we had dye blocks. Even if it was just for storage, but it would also be just really fun to build with something that colorful in block form. Vines. Firefly bushes is something I may want to use. Yeah, it doesn't take much to have it start to look a little bit more natural. Right, and then for here, we could probably put in not quite the same green. Maybe that's not going to work. Oops, not there. Now here's where I think we can probably do a lot of coverage with just grass and ferns. And then when you hit this with bone meal, it really does cover everything quite well. Right? Maybe not the top. We might want to cut the ones at the top down a little bit. It does feel a little bit repetitive through here too. Nope. I need to make more bushes. I need to grab the one that I already had. Nice. Can you put these on? No, you can't put them on gravel. Darn it. More bone meal required. And more shears required. I do find with these landscaping projects, you always end up with a bunch of stuff you have to ditch in your inventory. Cheers. Go. Yeah, so up here I think I just need to hit this with a little bit of bone meal, not a lot. Just kind of enough to cover it up. So many flowers. Why? Making my life harder. I don't remember poppies being the big thing in taiga. Thanks, SweetSandi. Appreciate it. No, bone meal does not create ferns. You have to like double it and then harvest it. Plant it, double it, harvest it. So even on the map, you can start to see what like a textured bank looks like compared to the plain Jane. Right, so we've got about to here. And I don't think I need to do much more than that. I think that's pretty straightforward. But then you can see how empty it looks. I find these little tricks with the shoreline is really good too. MindTripMedia with 100 bits. Thanks very much. Hope you're having a good day. And then in through here, I guess we would just hit it with bone meal again. Less visual. So many flowers. A lot of it just has to do with the fact that you've got the right landscape shape. Really hard to see where you're going though. And really hard to get some of these flowers that crop up underneath trees. So many. Why? Yeah, this might be less complicated than I thought. With enough trees down here on the front, it's really kind of covering up a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, that's some serious progress in just a few minutes, right? My Elytra would let me get on the land. That'd be nice. Just enough. The other thing that I need to do more of is also have coarse dirt come down places like this. Be pretty helpful too. Sometimes it just makes sense. Because you can still put grass on it. Oh, I left some weird hanging dirt. Didn't see that before. Yeah, works out pretty well. Yeah, I think Pixelriffs is playing Claire Obscure. Still, I think he's getting down to like the last couple of bosses, bonus bosses or something. The other thing I did not bring with me, but can be useful, are buttons. A little bit of contrast. Cool. Folks, that is where I need to wrap things up for today. I have some stuff to do this afternoon, so I got to run. But I will pass you along to somebody else playing Minecraft. And I think we did some pretty decent progress. That looks pretty good. Especially when you compare it to the neighbor. Right? It just feels a lot more natural. I like this gravel trick. I might do that somewhere else on purpose as well. Kind of fun. All right, let's see who else is playing Minecraft that I can pass you along to. I'll refresh my follow list. Normally Megabyte is live. Yep, looks like Megabyte again. I'm okay with that. I'm sure everybody in my chat is happy to hang out with Megabyte for a bit. Got a good 30 people that all sent over to Megabyte. That's awesome. Thank you ever so much for being here, folks. I know that this week is a little bit different now that I'm switching over to 10 a.m. streams. I like them. They seem to be working out for my morning schedule, so hopefully you do too. The VODs are available on Joel Duggan VODs. I usually post them about 24 hours later, so tomorrow morning this VOD will be up on Joel Duggan VODs. So if you're looking for some more background stuff to have while you're doing your workday, check out Joel Duggan VODs, because you can go back through the history of the builds and see the different things that I've done. Do check out the new episode of the Spawn Trunks podcast. It's available on all of your favorite podcasting apps. It's also available on YouTube. And check out patreon.com/JoelDuggan. It's one of the best ways to support me. It's only $2 US a month, less than a cup of coffee a month, and it does a lot to really help me continue these weekday streams. Without you guys, I could not do it. I really, really appreciate it. Speaking of appreciation, thank you, Sandy. I saw some naughty chatters that were dismantled and just removed by you today. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.